Hey guys, I have been wanting to make a Carole and Tuesday review, and I wanted to make it after I watched part two first. So I just did because it came out during Christmas. So here is my review for Carole and Tuesday. So, first of all, I absolutely loved this anime. I have loved the other animes that this creator has done. He has done Cowboy Bebop, he has done Samurai Champloo, and he did this one, and I love them all. And I think this one, they're all special, and I love all of them, and all the characters are amazing. But I think this one, I think Carole and Tuesday is my favorite one. And if you have watched Cowboy Bebop, there are references of Cowboy Bebop in Carole and Tuesday, and it is the same world. Like, there's references that are like, okay, this is the same world. It's the same universe as Cowboy Bebop. It definitely has the same tone and the same feel as his other animes. Like, you can tell it's created by the same creator, but this one definitely is the lightest. It's obviously a lot lighter than Champloo. Champloo is the darkest one. Cowboy Bebop, to me, it does have dark moments, but it's less dark than Champloo. But Carole and Tuesday is the lightest one. It's the least dark one. Now, it does get a little bit more dark in the second part of Carole and Tuesday. The second part of Carole and Tuesday, where it gets dark or gets darker, is when it talks about politics, when it gets into the corruption of politics. Also, this world is set in the future and there's AI. And so one of the darker parts of Carole and Tuesday in the second half is how bad guys, bad people in the government are trying to use the AI to bring censorship. And that's very realistic. That's not far off. That's very easy to imagine to imagine technology being used to censor people so they don't have freedom of speech. But I absolutely love the premise of this show. There are two girls, Carole and Tuesday. They're both lonely in their own way. One grew up in an unloving home with a rich mother who's running for president, Valerie. And then Carole was an orphan, and she grew up as an orphan, and she grew up in an orphanage, and they're both lonely, and they become friends, and they both pursue their dreams of music together. And the story is very, very sweet. Their friendship is very sweet. I feel like there needs to be more stories like this that have really sweet, precious friendships. And their friendships with the other characters are wonderful as well. Their friendship with Roddy and their friendship with their manager Gus. And it's unique because it's set in the future. It's about two girls trying to achieve their dreams of being musicians, but it's set in the future. So it's very, very interesting. It has a very interesting take. There's definitely a lot of things when you watch a show that you're going to recognize. Like, I laughed. I think it was called Mars Brightest. There's like a reality TV show, which is kind of like a combination of American Idol and The Voice and other talent shows, but it's set in a different world. So it's very interesting to see this premise, but in a different take. Like, it definitely has things that reflect our culture, that reflect the music industry and things that are going on right now, but it's still set in another universe. So it still has a difference, and it has something that's familiar as well. One of the things that I enjoyed about this show was that it showed all of the reasons why we love music, why we love to sing, why music is special to us. It showed all the good sides of music, all the good things of music. And then it showed the bad things of the music industry, especially with a few of the characters. There's a couple character arcs with a couple of the different characters where they just got used for their fame, and then they ended up feeling all alone, and they really didn't have anyone they could trust, and the people just wanted to be with them because they were famous. And there are other things that they show too, like for instance, there is a scene in the second half of Carole Tuesday where Carole Tuesday almost gets stuck in a bad contract, in a bad deal. They almost get ripped off, but their manager Gus realizes that it's a bad contract, and so they don't go for it. So they don't sign the contract. One of the things I obviously love about this show is the music. The music is amazing. The songs that are featured in the series are songs that I feel like I could easily hear on the radio, that I could turn on my radio and hear them. They are better than songs that I have heard on the radio. The music is fantastic. I love the music from the first part. I love the music from the second part. I love both intros. I love the intro for part 1, and then I love the intro for part 2. The intro for part 1 was like a musical. I loved how they danced and they spun around. And for the intro for the part 2, which was like a musical too, I loved the song Polly Jean, and I loved the scenery of them in the field and them with their instruments, and just this kind of dreaming, reaching for the stars, whimsical, reaching out for your dreams kind of feel with the intro for the second part of Carole Tuesday. And all of the people that sang on the show were amazing. So many of the songs, I have purchased so many of the songs from all the different people that have sang on the show, and it makes sense why it took him a while to get the show off the ground, because they had to create original songs and original music, which is hard to do, and they had to put it in Japanese and then translate it in English, which is really hard. So that is just impressive. And the songs range from different genres. Like they range from pop, they range from rap, they range from R&B, they range from folksy, they range from so many different kinds of sounds. And so doesn't matter what kind of music you enjoy or you like, you're going to hear something, because there's so many different type of genres of songs, and it's just comes together in such a wonderful way in this show. I loved the characters of Carole Tuesday. I loved how feisty Carole was. I liked that Tuesday was the opposite of Carole, that she was a little shy, and that they were opposites, because most friendships that are great, you're usually opposite of your friend in some way. And so I thought them being opposites was a smart choice. And I really loved that Carole got to meet her father. That part made me cry. There's a lot of moments in this show where I was happy crying, or I was kind of like bittersweet crying. And speaking of characters, I loved the relationship between Angela and Tao. I loved Tao, and I ended up finding Angela so interesting. At first, she was supposed to be as if she was just a spoiled child star, but then she becomes this complex, complicated character. And I absolutely loved her and Tao's relationship. And I loved Angela's backstory. And I loved how it was connected to Tao. And I was like, I gasped when I watched that. When I was watching the show, I was like, oh my gosh, I knew it. Knew someone was going to be connected to the whole AI storyline. I didn't think anybody was an AI. I didn't think Tao was an AI or that anyone else was the AI or a robot, but I knew that it was going to be connected in some sort of way. And I remember there were things from the first season that I thought was odd, like statements about Angela where they were like kept trying to make her look younger, and I was like, why is that? It's like they're trying to hide her age or something. But so, and then it explained how she was connected to the AI stuff. I was like, I knew it. But the ending to this show is so beautiful. It is so inspiring. It is so sweet. It's so uplifting. I felt uplifted. I felt very inspired. I needed to watch something that was gonna lift up my spirits, especially with 2019. But it was a very beautiful ending, very hopeful. The ending is basically, even in the midst of darkness, even when the world is going crazy or there's chaos in the world, or even if there's dark things happening in the world, you can still find light. You can still find good things. You can still bring light to people. Your dreams can still come true even when there are dark things happening, even when there's darkness. And I absolutely love that all the characters come back together and sing together. And the last song is so beautiful. Like, I was crying. I was happy tear crying. I bought the song. It's such a beautiful song. And I love that they basically save the world through their music. They save the world through their dreams. So overall, this show has humor, it has heart, it has wonderful friendship, it has amazing music. Like I said, the original songs are incredible, the intros are incredible, and the outros are incredible too. The outro songs for the first part of the show, and then the second part, which is Angela's outro, her outro is great too. And I loved all the famous musical references. For instance, some of the episodes were the names of famous songs like Dancing Queen by ABBA, Don't Stop Believin', A Change Is Gonna Come. So I loved that aspect, that music aspect, with this being a music show, of that being in there as well. Like I said, the show had a lot of humor, and I love how they would poke fun at some things that are in pop culture. For instance, all the music festivals with DJ Erdogan or Odegan or whatever his name was. That cracked me up at Zidona Fest or Zidonia Fest. That and his character was so on point, was so accurate to the music festival. I was laughing so hard when I was watching that. But like I said, it's a very uplifting show, and I thought it was so perfect for it to come out on Christmas. When I first saw it was coming out on Christmas Eve, I was like, that's weird, because I remember looking up when it was coming out because I've been waiting for this, and it said in December for part 2. So I figured early December or middle December, but I didn't think Christmas. And I was like, oh wow, that's late. It's kind of weird on Christmas. But there are Christmas episodes, and I love the Christmas episodes, and those Christmas episodes were so sweet. And I just felt like it was so perfect for it to come out on Christmas, because the show itself was like a gift. The ending itself was like a gift. It was like a joyous, uplifting gift. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed my video, please give it a big thumbs up. Please like it, and please subscribe. And I'm hoping that we will get another part to this in the end, when it said to be continued and then it said in your mind. I was like, that doesn't mean anything. It still could come back because they're young musicians. They're still working with their career. And he always has a tendency with his shows that just because they end, there's still kind of an open ending. Like with Samurai Champloo, they all leave and they part ways, but you assume that they're going to run into each other again someday. And with Cowboy Bebop, I remember the creator talked about how he wanted to do a sequel to Cowboy Bebop. And in the ending, you never see Spike die. Like the camera pans far way out. You don't see him die. He just like collapses, but you don't see him die. So I have hopes that this could come back because there's a lot of material, especially with this one. The world is very big, and with it being music and everything. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!